All right, Ed Ball back. We are on chapter 18 of What I Learned in the Streets and in Prison. And this chapter is make sure your knife isn't used to do the stabbing. So, what does that mean? All right, so think about all of the talents that you have, all of the talents that you deploy. You most likely deploy them in some sort of work setting. You deploy them at work, you deploy them for the benefit of somebody else. So somebody else is benefiting more from your talent than you are, and most likely they are getting credit for your talent. So the benefits and the credit of your talent is basically being outsourced to somebody else, and that's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing depending on the circumstances. But if you are looking at most circumstances, it your knife is being used to do the stabbing because you are probably receiving a measly pittance for your time, talent, expertise, while somebody else receives the bulk. When we talk about monetary, we're talking about monetization. They're receiving the bulk of the money for your talents, and in addition, they are getting credit for that. And don't get me wrong. Now, that's how things are set up. To the victor goes the spoils. To the person who made that ultimate sacrifice to create this business, this infrastructure, they receive the spoils. So that's just something to think about. Now, one thing you can do to make sure that your knife isn't used to be doing the stabbing is basically understand your value. And one of the things you need to do is understand what it is that you need, what it is that you need to take care of your family, what is it that you need to fund you reaching your dream. What is it that you need? All right, so once you understand that, then you can get a idea of what you need to be receiving from whatever endeavor you engage in. What benefit do you need, and what credit do you need as a result? All right, so as part of understanding your value, you have to understand the total value of your effort. So you have to understand what value does my efforts have alone. So let's say let's say you are an artist of some sort. All right, so what value is your art worth by yourself? All right, and then so let's just throw out a number. Let's say your art is worth $10,000 a month over here by yourself. Now, let's say you are part of an infrastructure. Let's say you use your art as part of an organization, a job, and your efforts are multiplied 5 times. So now what you do alone is worth 10, but what you do under this infrastructure is worth $50,000 a month, right? So now what are you getting out of that? Now, if you are only getting that same $10,000 a month that you can get on your own, then you might have to look at some other things. But now, if you are getting $15,000-$20,000 a month as a result of doing the same work with an infrastructure, then you might not be allowing your knife to be used to do the stabbing. You are getting more benefit from this setup than if you were alone. Now, you also have to look at non-monetary benefits. So alone, what are the benefits? And with the infrastructure, what are the benefits? With the infrastructure, you might have more reach. You might be coming in contact with with more people building, these bridges, or you may be doing that. You may be doing that alone. Now that is very, very, very valuable also. So you just have to weigh, the total value and what it is you need. And then in addition, you have to also understand the motives and actions of whoever, it wants to potentially use your knife to do the stabbing. And some of the things that you have to do, you have to basically look at how they do things. What is their modus operandi? What have they been doing in the past? What have they done to others? How do they operate? What is their business model? Is their business model to just suck all the people of their talent, expertise, and skill set, and then once they're done, kick them to the curb? I mean, you have to evaluate these things, and you also want to understand, like, what value are they receiving from your efforts, from your skill set, from your knowledge base. And then you can better understand, what their motives are and how they are going to treat you. And so you have to balance, what their motivations are, what their actions are, against what your motivations are and what your actions are. And you also have to balance what value they bring, and balance what value you can generate on your own. And you have to be honest with yourself. Because a lot of people are not honest with themselves. That they got themselves hyped up, some grand ideas about their capabilities, talents, things of that nature. And what they do is they end up cutting off their nose to spite their face. So let's say you are part of an infrastructure that is using your talents to generate, thousands and thousands of dollars a month, or thousands of dollars a minute, an hour, or whatever. And they are giving you, a percentage of that, and you think that you should get more. And then, so what you do is cut them off from the talents, quit, leave, do shoddy work, or whatever. And now you're not getting anything, or you're not getting anywhere close to what you were getting or creating, or the people that you're reaching under the infrastructure that you were a part of. So you just basically cut off your nose to spite your face, because you didn't want them receiving a bulk of what you were helping generate. So you have to play things smart. Don't cut off your nose just to spite your face. And you also have to make decisions that you can live with. If you can live with them making $50,000 a month while they pay you $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month, if you can live with that, if you can make something of that, then so be it. But if you can't, then you have to think about other options. So a quick recap of chapter 17. One of the main things I want you to take away is you have to know your value and what your needs are. Now, once you understand what your value is and what it is that you need, you know what to ask for. You know what to make sure that you are getting if you are involved in some sort of deal with the infrastructure. And even if you are out there on your own, creating your own business, you know what to ask for. You know what you're going to need to generate. You're going to understand what you can pay people to help you reach your goal. All right, so it's Ed Ball. We just finished up chapter 17 of the book, What I Learned in the Streets and in Prison.